this hour, we are talking about health care. Congressman Kucinich is staying with us for the whole hour, and I can't wait. Let's welcome our other guest. Paul Keckley is here, a healthcare economist with the Deloitte Center for Health Solutions. Pat Powell is here with Powell Financial, a financial advisor, planner, and small business owner. Right, Pat?
That's
and
true.
Peter Pitts, president for the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. Also, Peter is at Porter Novelli, Global Healthcare there. Welcome, everybody. I know you're all, before we even get to a question, chomping at the bit, because Peter, Congressman, as you were speaking, Peter's sitting over here just gesticulating wildly, if you will.
Well, gesticulating politely. I think that when Congressman Kucinich, with all due respect, is living in fantasy land, because when you say things like, well, the government's going to pay for everything, but the government's not going to control anything. Well, I've got 2 kids, and let me tell you, when I'm paying for what they're doing, I'm controlling it. And when you have the government being the major payer, which they already are in this country, when they become an even broader part of that proposition.
Half of healthcare spending is government spending.
That's right. And I should also note that more people in the United States receive their health benefits through the government than any individual country anywhere else in the world. But when the government begins calling the shots, the government begins, just as insurance companies do right now, they begin to be more concerned about their profits, their spending. They begin to be concerned primarily about cost rather than focusing on patient care over the long term. And that's why when you look at the bill in front of the House, and I'd like to know whether the congressman has actually read the entire bill, because I know that his leader, Mr. Hoyer, said that he wasn't really concerned whether the membership read it or not. When you actually read the bill, what you find out is it's a cost containment bill rather than a bill that provides care over the long term, keeping people healthier longer, keeping them active, and it doesn't address at all, or it does in some very draconian, nasty ways, end-of-life care, which is a serious issue that we've got to discuss as a nation.
Well, I just want to say that you're mischaracterizing my position. First of all, I'm not here as an advocate of H.R. 3200, the House bill. That I have my own bill that I've written with John Conyers, H.R. 676, which is a not-for-profit bill. And I've said before, I'll say it again, government isn't running that system. It's not for profit. All the assets are converted. Government handles the paying the bills, because right now the private sector, 15 to 30% is what they charge for handling the paperwork. And we get rid of that because Medicare is only 3% to handle the paperwork. So just don't mischaracterize what I'm saying.
Paul, I want to jump out to you, actually, because Deloitte has done so much research on how to fix this problem. And can you just tell us briefly what you think the solution is?
Well, I think it's in 4 big areas. One is in leveraging information technology to do 2 things. One is administrative simplification. 1,300 health plans that would arrive at a common set of transactions that would take a substantial amount of cost out of the system, up to $700 billion. And by the way, the health plans had agreed to do this. They submitted that to the White House June 1st. The second part of that would be clinical information technology to make better judgments on diagnosis, better judgment on treatment plans. And as you know, there's a lot of overuse and misuse in the system. Second would be the application of evidence to practice. We need to align incentives with outcomes, not volume. Third would be to focus on preventive and chronic care management. We do not have dollars invested adequately or appropriately in that area. And then fourth, we need to modify people's behavior. We're unhealthy, 31% are obese. Those are the 4 major domains where, by the way, we can take more than the $2 trillion that the White House seeks out of the system and improve the results, population-based health.
Obesity is one of the major healthcare problems, where an obese person costs $1,400 more every year in terms of their healthcare spending than someone who is not obese. But it's a very sticky problem, because to what extent is the government going to come in and tell people, well, if you're obese, you're going to pay higher health care costs?
Or maybe you'll be denied certain treatments if it's behavioral. I mean, I think I'm very suspicious of this, what's going on, because if you say to somebody, well, you caused your own problem, you ate too much, why should we pay for a heart transplant because, you're still obese. It's going to still be a problem. I talk to people every day, and for the last few weeks, this is all people come into my office and talk about. And they're talking about things like, well, if this comes comes to place and I'm denied the kind of care that I need, what are my options? How am I going to pay for it? And we don't have answers yet. So the angst that is coming out in my office is absolutely incredible. My population is pre-retirement and retirement. And these are people that are going into their health care use years. You know, they spent a lifetime paying all those premiums, and now they're ready for the time when they're going to collect on those benefits, and now it's being taken away. They're actually pretty annoyed, too.
Well, let's just take a quick break. But again, Medicare has grown into something that it was never intended to be. Never.
Clearly.
In terms of
What's
size,
that?
in terms of scope. Let's just take a quick break. Oh, we're already fired up.
I'd like to take a hit of that.
No, when we come back, healthcare. What the future holds. Call us 877-249-9626 or send us an email to yourmoney@foxbusiness.com.